What's up, you? For today's video with a full Diglett evolution and Convergent Pokemon team. So I wasn't really sure what to call this because Wiglett and Wugtrio aren't actually in the Diglett evolution or form zone. They're completely different Pokemon, but they have been classed as a Convergent Pokemon. So I thought it'd be fun to put all these onto one team and see what they can do. I don't think there's been any official statements saying if they, I know they're not related, but what they could be called. But I think they're just separate species that look like Diglett and Dugtrio, but in a completely different region and such like that. Anyway, I've got 4 battles with this team, and I hope you enjoy. First Pokemon battle there, this is a random one on the Poké Portal. I'm not sure what my opponent's name here. Maybe someone can translate that. And we've got a Koraidon lead. Now, my first Pokemon, of course, is going to be Little Diglett, and it has a Focus Sash. So this is a Fissure, Stealth Rock, Memento, and Sandstorm set with Sand Veil. Now, I was going to go for a Fissure or a Sandstorm on the first turn. I decided to go for the Fissure, and it missed, which is very, very sad because Koraidon is going to finish me off with a Terra Blast. Next Pokemon is Dugtrio. This is a Earthquake, Rock Blast, Endure, and Reversal set with Terra Fighting. Item is going to be Loaded Dice. EVs are Max Speed and Max Attack, Jolly Nature. The Diglett before I gave that one Max Speed and Max Health as well. So that was the Diglett's EVs. It was more there just to outspeed stuff and set the Stealth Rocks and Fissure a couple of Pokemon. Anyway, Koraidon is going to be able to live my attack sadly, and that is the end of Dugtrio. The problem with this team I had was they're very, very squishy Pokemon, right? They virtually faint to all moves because they're not bulky at all, and they don't really have uber powerful attacking moves, right? So you don't do tons of damage. So this is a very, very hard team to use, but it was really fun. So that's the end of Koraidon, and here it comes to Miraidon. So out comes Miraidon. Now, Miraidon isn't too bad, but it still is quite a threatening Pokemon, with its powerful special attack. I managed to take it out with my Alola Dugtrio. Now, this one is a Max Attack and Max Speed set, Jolly Nature, Iron Head, Earthquake, Rock Slide, and Sandstorm with the Sand Force as the ability. Smooth Rock as the item to extend out that Sandstorm for 8 turns. And it does some really, really good damage. Unfortunately for me, Scarlet managed to live a very, very bulky set, and it managed to faint me with the Torch Song, which sucks. But at least I got rid of it. We got the Wiglett coming up next. It's a special Wiglett, only on PewDiePie's channel here. It's an absolute unit of a set. I'm going to go for the Earth Spell and take out the Scarlet. Now, this one is Hydro Pump, Blizzard, Earth Power, and Foul Play. Focus Sash as the item, and ability is Gooey. So max special attack and max speed, modest nature. So in comes Quackquavel. I went for a Earth Spell. It's going to go for close combat. And Wiglett, of course, has the Focus Sash. The good thing about this is it's got Gooey, so it is going to drop the Quackquavel's speed. Not that Quackquavel is a really fast Pokemon, but just in case it has Aqua Step and stuff like that. So Gooey's going to be kicking in. I went for another Earth Power here, so I got a little bit of damage on it, which was, I guess, better than nothing. And it's going to go for Liquidation and finish me off there. Another Gooey as well for Quackquavel. So that's, it is in range for one of my other Pokemon. The electricity is also gone too. I think that had Moxie. I think I cut it off a little bit earlier. So I'm going to bring in my Diglett Alola. It's a special set. We've got Steel Beam, Final Gambit, Ancient Power, and Earth Power. Item is Choice Specs. I like to go for Choice Specs Final Gambit. It's a very, very powerful move. So go for that, and that is going to be enough to take out the Quackquavel. So I had to sort of end that sweep there, which was good. So had to sacrifice Alola Diglett. It's all fine though. It's all good. Next Pokemon is going to be Wugtrio, the absolute unit. And the next Pokemon my opponent has got here is going to be Tyranitar. So I don't know what I can really do here. So I've got Terra Ground as the Terra I've got on this because a lot of the time I come across electric, Koraidon and Miraidon and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be fun to, try and get around that a little bit. And being a pure water type, it's very, very good to go for Terra Ground. So we've got Triple Dive, Stomping Tantrum, Throat Chop, and Aqua Jet. So my opponent actually went for a Terra Ice, which is, it did take me by surprise here. So a nice Terra Ice. I didn't even mean to rhyme that. I went for Triple Dive. I had a King's Rock as the item, and I got a flinch, so you wouldn't read about it. Tyranitar is going to take another barrage of the mighty Wugtrio's Triple Dives. So it took 6 Triple Dives to take out, I'm assuming, a sweeping Tyranitar Terra Ice. I was very, very lucky there. Last Pokemon on my opponent's team here is going to be a walking meme. I'm like, oh no. So I went for Throat Chop. It did donkeys. Here comes a Dragon Pulse. Now, Wugtrio actually lived that one. Then I went for the Terra. I was like, I have to go for Terra because I didn't want to obviously go for Terra Ground and then maybe they didn't have any courage moves and go for Hydro Steam and one-shot me. So I went for the Terra Ground here. Now, the funny thing about Terra Ground on Wugtrio, it's like super tiny because it's only on like one of the Wugtrio's like heads. So normally it's like a much bigger sort of Terra hat than that. Unfortunately, Walking Meme is going to live and it's going to go for Dragon Pulse again and fade my Wugtrio. I was so close to winning that battle with that team. But there we go. Hope you enjoyed the first one. I needed like just maybe it was minimum damage. I'm not sure, but it is Wugtrio after all. That was a max attack and max speed rattled set. Next battle here, this is another random on the Pokeball. This team was pure sweat. And it was an incredible battle, right? You watch this. So we've got a Zamazenta lead. Definitely not going to use Body Press. I've popped the Fissure and it's landed first turn. So I'm pretty happy about getting rid of that Pokemon, you know, because my team is never going to be able to get through that. So next Pokemon to come out is going to be Clodsire. I'm like, all right, fair enough, Clodsire. I'm just going to go Fissure. Unfortunately, it's going to miss. Now, Clodsire is going to set up a layer of spikes. So they still had some very, very scary Pokemon on their team. So they're like, right. That gets rid of my other Focus Sash and, you know, some extra health on my Dugtrios, which I, you know, kind of really need. So they swapped out and they went into Ting Lu. I'm like, well, there's a Stealth Rock and a Whirlwind. Fissure's going to land. That was awesome. So I got rid of two really, really bulky Pokemon there. So that's the end of Zamazenta and that's the end of Ting Lu. So a quality start to the battle, really, when you think about it. And I still had my Focus Sash intact. So in comes Zachary Zacion. It's got that +1. I popped a Fissure and I fainted it too. So that's half the team gone so far. I was like, man, is this going to be the one? Am I going to be able to beat this legendary team? Now, it's still very early days. Half the team's gone, though. This is the fourth Pokemon, and it's Clodsire again, right? Maybe they're going to go for Earthquake, right? So I went for Fissure, and unfortunately, it misses again. I'm like, well, here goes my Sash. They set up the spikes again. I'm like, okay, maybe they don't have anything to hit my Diglett with, or they're just, I'm not sure what they're doing right now. So they swapped out, and then they went into Kyogre. I'm like, oh, this is very, very bad. I sort of forgot they had a Kyogre because I was so caught up in the fact that I already fainted 3 Pokemon with like a Diglett in a children's game of Pokemon. So Fissure's going to miss it. Now my opponent has gone for a Terra Water Kyogre. And since Diglett was actually outspeeding the other Pokemon, I thought, oh, well, I can go for another Diglett Fissure. So I can go maybe 2 Fissures I've got against this thing. However, this is a Scarf Water Spout Kyogre Terra Water. I'm like, oh no, that's it, right? So Diglett is going to live on its Focus Sash. This is my only real chance here to do anything. I was like, if I don't land this, I think that it's game over. And Diglett landed 4 Fissures. So that was incredible. So that's 4 Pokemon fated to little Diglett. Now there's a Clodsire left, which hasn't lifted a finger except using like spikes. And the last Pokemon is Miraidon. So I'm like, all right, well, I've got, what, 1 Fissure left or 2 Fissures? I'll just go for that. And they landed again. And Miraidon is going to fade too. It's a Diglett sweep here. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. Like, you wouldn't read about it, right? I just did this battle. So the last Pokemon is Clodsire, but then I started crying. It definitely wasn't the rain. I'd run out of Fissures. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to fake myself. So I went for the Mento on the Clodsire. And that's going to drop the attack and the special attack of that Hashi. But what a performance there. If this video doesn't get a like after that, man, I can't give you any, like, greater content than that, right? So I'm going to swap in my next Diglett here, which is the Alola Diglett. It's got 3 little strands of hair. I mean, if you're like, I don't know, like 90 years old, right? If you got 3 strands of hair, you're going pretty well. So, of course, Steel Beam is going to miss. And they set up spikes. I was like, wait. I don't think they can do anything at all to any. All they've used is spikes. So you have to do, they got spikes like recover or some sort of move here. I did actually find out what attacking move they got here. So Diglett is going to faint and they went Poison Tail. So like, oh, okay, so you can't use that being me being a Steel type. So I went into Dugtrio Alola. I'm going to take some spikes damage and I'm now going to go for Earthquake. And that is the end of the Clodsire. So I had no way to actually hit my other Pokemon. Not that it really mattered. I'd pretty much won the game there after all those Fissures. At least they didn't DC though, I'll give them that, but man, they got completely destroyed by that little Diglett with Fissure. All right, let's get on to the third battle. This one is against Lizardus, and we've got a Spidops versus Wiglett. Wow, this is a matchup of the century here. So go for a Hydro Pump on Spidops. It's a special Spidops. It's popped a Grass Knot. Man, I actually lived it on 2 health from a crit. I can't believe it didn't activate Focus Sash. That just shows you how bad Spidops special attack is. So go for this Hydro Pump here, and I'm almost going to be able to take out Spidops. Spidops is going to pop that Bug Buzz, and that is the end of the ginormous yellow Wiglett. So not a bad start there, not a bad start. Todd's got Life Orb too. I can't believe I didn't. I guess because it's such a light Pokemon. So we're going to go to Diglett here, Diglett Alola. I'm going to try and get a Ancient Power Boost because I've got that choice spec, so I thought it'd be really funny. And I didn't get it, but obviously it was enough to take out a Spidops, which is good. Next Pokemon here to come out is going to be Fracture. This might be some sort of theme team as well, so if you can guess this theme team, let me know in the comment section. I'm trying to figure it out now. Maybe, I don't know so far. So Fracture's going to go for a Taunt. So I guess I thought I might have, like, I don't know, Stealth Rocks or a setup move there. I'm going to keep trying to go for Ancient Power to get a boost. Now, this is a special set. Unfortunately, it's going to drop my special attack, which sucks because, you know, Alola Diglett, I mean, it's not really known for its special attack stat when you have a look at it. So 3 Snarls will be enough to take out my little Diglett here. I'm going to go for yet another Ancient Power, and it fails to take it out. And that's going to go for Breaking Swipe. That was kind of mean. So that is the end of the Diglett. It tried its best, people. Next Pokemon is Wugtrio. But I have to say this, I sort of read everywhere, and there's no real official statements that say, obviously they're not, I mean, I'd call them sort of, I don't know, they definitely look like Dugtrio. Like Wiglett and Wugtrio definitely look like Diglett and Dugtrio, but they're completely different. I'd call them Paldean and Diglett and Dugtrio, but I don't know. I guess their class is a completely different Pokemon, Pokedex number and stuff like that. But they do look very, very similar. It's sort of like I was thinking of doing this as well. You know, like Tentacruel and Tentacle. I was going to do like Toadskruel as well, like those 4 Pokemon on the team. I thought that'd be fun too, but they're not the same. Like they're not like a form of the Pokemon, right? But yeah, I don't know. So that's going to be the end of my Wugtrio, and we got the Fracture coming back in here, and we had the Inteleon coming on. So I've got 3 more left. I was like, let's go with the Diglett. He is the unit itself from the second battle. I'm going to whip that Sandstorm. I'm going to see if we get like a Sand Veil Mist there, and hopefully I can get this happening. So Breaking Swipe is going to land, and it almost broke my Diglett. Diglett's going to have its attack drop, which kind of sucks here. So I just went for an attacking move here. I went for Fissure because it was my only one, and they went for Taunt. But that actually wouldn't have been a bad play there if I went for Stealth Rock. I actually almost went for Stealth Rock there because I thought, well, Fissure's going to miss, and they'll probably just go for Breaking Swipe. So it's quite funny how that could have worked out if I went for Stealth Rock. So that's the end of the Fracture. Was on borrowed time anyway. Fissure's going to miss on my Inteleon. I really never got, like, after that second battle there, I just didn't get good luck with this Diglett the entire time I play with. Like, all the other battles, it was sketchy at most whether it actually would even land a single one in a battle. So swapping in Dugtrio, I got the Sand up, which is going to be very, very powerful. Like, this thing is actually really, really powerful under the sand. And now we're going to Inteleon go for a Terra. It's a Terra Ice Inteleon. So, like, all right, fair enough. That's okay. I don't know whether, like, what was the point of Terra Ice there. Maybe it was sort of their strategy. I don't really know, but that's going to be enough to take out Inteleon. I don't know why it was called America for. Next Pokemon is Shellos. It's actually shiny. I'm going to go for a Rock Slide here, and it takes it pretty well. So it's like an Everlight one. It's got counters. I'm like, damn. That's the end of my Dugtrio. It got wrecked by little Shellos. The Sandstorm is going to subside. We're going to go into Dugtrio. This is my Arena Trap set as well. I forgot if I didn't say that abilities. So let's go for Rock Blast. And my first one crits. Not that it really mattered. I was going to land 4 of them regardless. So that's the end of Shellos. Next Pokemon is going to be Gafai. I was like, right, here we go. I've got a good idea. I'll go for Terra Fighting, and I'll go for Endure. And hopefully I'll get hit by some sort of reasonably hard attack. I mean, Dugtrio isn't bulky, so it's not going to take too much damage. It's going to take a lot of damage regardless, right? Even if it's not very effective. So I went for the Terra Fighting, and we got a Giga Impact Gafai, and that is going to put me on 1 health. So, like, man, that's good because I can go for a Terra Fighting Reversal. And actually, it's pretty cool with Dugtrio having like a ginormous like fist on top of its head. And that is the end. That was a crit too, damn. And that is the end of Fire there. I guess I would have outsped anyway if it did live because it was recharging. But thank you, Lizardus, for the battle. And let's get on to battle number 4. This is a battle against Cameron. First Pokemon is going to be the Mothra. Now, this actually was a theme team as well. You'll be able to guess what it is pretty easy. So, my first Pokemon is Wiglett. I went for a Hydro Pump. Pretty good damage there, considering it's a Stun Spore set, and it gets better. It's a Blunder Policy Stun Spore Slitherwing. It's like, damn, son, that's pretty cool. So now they're going to go for a second Stun Spore, and my Wiglett is going to be paralyzed. So, like, okay, hopefully I can get a Hydro Pump off here. That'd be great. And Hydro Pump is going to land and get past the paralysis. So it seems to be a 3-hit KO. Here comes a Zen Headbutt on Wiglett. I'm like, okay, I can see what they're doing here. That's actually very, very mean. Gooey's going to activate, which is good, and it's going to be a flinching, paralyzing set. They're going to outspeed me and finish off on Wiglett. So I got paralyzed, and at least I got 2 Gooeys, so the Moth won't be able to outspeed my next Pokemon. That was probably one of the best things about this team is they're all really speedy Pokemon. That's like virtually the only benefit. And, you know, Dugtrio's Arena Trap is pretty fast. So I brought in my Diglett, and I don't know how that outspared me. I was like, what the heck? And it took it out with a lunge. I'm like, man, this is actually kind of bad. So swapping in the Diglett here, you know what? I went for the Stealth Rock. It was very, very important for me to do that, as you'll get to see in the future of this battle. So now I finally get a Fissure off. Trust me, that was the very first Fissure I got in a long time, apart from that second battle. And that is the end of Slitherwing. So I was like, finally, I took a Pokemon out. Next Pokemon is going to be Iron Wings here, and we're going to take some damage. So I just went for the Fissure again. It's going to miss. They popped an Ember, and Ember was a 2-hit KO, and I landed another Fissure. So I'm like, that's good, you know. You know, that being 4 times super effective really helped the damage output there. Very much. Next Pokemon is going to be Volcarona. So it is 2 Volcaronas, 2 Slitherwings, and 2 Iron Wings. So that was the team. Poor little Larvesta was sort of like crying in a corner there, wasn't included. So that is the end of the Volcarona. I'm starting to land lots of Fissures now. Again, like this could be another, you know, this could be the one, you know, this could be the Diglett sweep. So more damage for the Volcarona, and Fissure is finally going to miss there. Volcarona is going to pop a Bug Buzz, and yeah, that's definitely going to be the end of the Diglett. But once again, Diglett proving to be a valuable team member on the Diglett Evolution Convergent Forms team. I don't know what I'm going to call this video. I'm probably just going to call it a Diglett Evolution team. Like it's just going to be like too wordy otherwise. So I'm going to bring in my Wugtrio, and of course I get Flame Body. How could I not get Flame Body? So I managed just to actually feint this Volcarona, which is pretty funny. So it's going to take 3 attacks because of that burn damage. And Wugtrio, let's be real, it doesn't really have a lot of attack stat anyway. Next Pokemon, I thought that said Solosis there for a second. Like, how does Solosis get back in the game? Anyway, Triple Dive is gonna triple miss, and now we get the Iron Wings go for a Toxic Spike. Like, okay, fair enough. I guess it's only gonna affect like 2 of my Pokemon. At least I get another chance of going for an attacking move here. I don't know why I didn't go for Stomping Tantrum there. I'm not really sure. Stomping Tantrum would have 1-hit KO'd there. I don't know why I didn't go for that. Maybe I adjusted my moveset in this battle. I'm not sure. This might have been one of the early battles I had, and I didn't have Stomping Tantrum, because I would have definitely used that. Anyway, in comes the Mothman. I'm going to go for Triple Dive again. I definitely think that I didn't have Stomping Tantrum here. I'm just going to keep going for Triple Dive over and over again, as much damage as I can. Like, if I wasn't burned, that would have like almost fainted. Then I got a flinch from King's Rock. I'm like, let's go again. So I was trying to get this flinch. Like, if I can get like a flinch off this one here and then go for the next one, that should almost faint it. It'd be, you know, pretty close. So I got another 3 hits in. Unfortunately, it's going to not flinch, and it's going to be a special Slitherwing, and it's going to be able to heal a fair bit of, well, that was about all the damage I did with the second round of Triple Dive, right? So next Pokemon, my 5th one is Dugtrio Alola. I can easily take this out. I'm going to go for Sandstorm first. I'm going to sort of power myself up, you know. So I got that sand flowing. Here comes Giga Drain. It does a pretty good amount of damage because, you know, Dugtrio isn't really bulky. And I was like, all right, well, I can go for a Terra here. So the Terra I put on this was Terra Rock. So it was a pretty powerful attacking move with, Sand Force boosting up Rock, Ground, and Steel type move, which did work rather well when I managed to get the Sandstorm. I guess the difficult part was getting it up, so sometimes when you go for Diglett, you can go Sandstorm. So anyway, I got a flinch here on the Rock Slide. It managed just to live, and the Sandstorm ended up fainting it. And that's it. What a salty finish. I'd be pretty salty there too. Hope you enjoyed today's video, people. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.